Are you ready? Can Crush Us. It don't really get no better than this the podcast that you're looking for if you're really heavy into wrestling. Hosted by the Mark. Energy that's so amazing. Gotta keep it entertaining. Rep the Can Crusher Nation. Yeah, you know what's going down in the ring. Lights out when you hit a ding ding. Knock 'em out like boom bada bing. Hold it down, you can crown me the king. Got a shout out to the Miz and Duke the Dumpster. We choke slamming everybody, power driving, hit 'em with a face buster. Yeah, this the show you need and it ain't no need for waiting. Mark, hold it down for the Can Crusher Nation. All about wrestling and keep it entertaining. Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Time to break 'em, let's go. Yeah. Can Crushers. Yeah. Can Crushers. Let's go.
Hey, this is Space Jesus Billy Starks, and you're listening to the Out of the World podcast of Can Crushers.
Hello! From the days that we never record, but we're recording anyway. Hello!
That was impressive.
Yeah?
All in one breath.
No, you breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. You can do it all at once. I've learned that from that Darcy that was on America's Got Talent that,
ventriloquist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That just popped into my head. That's a bunch of shit. Hey, welcome to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. I'm Mark the Mark. That's Sir Michael Jenks, and we're here a little bit of a different show.
Yeah. Just a little bit. We're going to still cover some of your favorite topics and whatnot, but a little bit earlier than usual, but nothing big. Nothing too crazy.
Earlier for us. Same time as you.
Mm-hmm.
I will be in line posting this as it comes out into WrestleCade.
Beautiful.
Or will I be going to the Duke Pit game, which starts at noon?
Oh, it's at noon? They announced it?
They did.
Oh, man. So you're at Duke Pit.
I don't know.
I think I know. I'd go Duke Pit.
Don't know.
Yeah, fair. Was it an hour?
It will be a crapshoot. Yeah.
Yeah, an hour. Yeah.
I would just not do autographs, and I'll come back for the big show.
Yeah.
Crapshoot. If you see me on ESPN, it's definitely not on ESPN. I think it's on ACC Plus.
Hey, you never know. I mean, Collision from Erie, Pennsylvania is on TNT, so.
That's a week away.
That is a week away. I'll pump to you.
Danielson Watch 2023.
Danielson Watch 2023 still going on. Exactly. We have 4 shows technically, because I'm guessing they're going to use a Rampage for one of these matches.
No, you'll get ROHs. Rampage is always recorded with Dynamite on Wednesday.
Well, it depends on if they're live. So, well, no, wait a minute. They could still do a match though on Rampage, just tape it Wednesday night and post Friday.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I thought you were saying that they were recording Rampage with us.
Oh, no. ROH with us. I was talking about the Danielson Watch 2023. Right. So I was trying to figure out, okay, there's 4 shows between now and the Erie one. What are they going to show? Who goes where, basically? Which, we only know a third of the field. Is that a fourth of the field? Sorry, I can't do math. Or no, wait, fourth of the field. So, what the hell, man? 12 divided by 4 is 3.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we got 3. But that's why I had to double check, because I was like, I thought 16, but it wasn't 16 at first. So, our math skills are really good right now. So we've just had a banger week so far.
We have a banger week so far. Just to let you guys know, I'll go first real quick.
Yeah.
Oof. Made lots of cheese. Didn't get to watch Full Gear live. Watched it the following day. I would have watched Full Gear live timing-wise.
Yeah.
Made it home by like 8. I made it home by 8 o'clock.
But were you coherent at 8 o'clock?
Made it to bed at 8:15.
There we go. How'd you feel Sunday?
Fine.
Yeah?
Listen, I'm 8:15. That's a whole nother world going to bed that early, too.
Yeah.
And I slept until like 8. I slept a good 12 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was no alcohol in my system. And I didn't get sick. We haven't had none of those stories. My buddy, Trainwreck, Kelly, and my buddy's wife when Kelly got there at like 7:15, she's like, "Why aren't you like him?" I'm like, I don't know. I'm being good. I mean,
you had a few.
Wrong. I was there.
Yeah.
But I wasn't already falling over and licking the ground and doing random Mark stuff. Maybe I grew up.
Maybe.
I doubt it.
Did you eat a lot of cheese?
Do you want that story?
Oh, I think we need to have that story.
Listen, we ate a ton of cheese. A ton of cheese all day Saturday. So, of course, I'm going to go there. No bathroom break Saturday because it's busy time. You know, urination or something like that. But the other way, no bathroom break on Sunday as well.
Oh.
Monday, though, bathroom break came through.
Jesus.
So yes, I ate a lot of cheese. Probably taking the week off of cheese. It's let cool now and simmer in the fridge and not even look at it because you're like, I made that much cheese.
How much cheese did you walk away with?
We had 2 things of Cooper, 2 things of mozzarella, and a thing of provolone.
Oh, nice.
So, you know, I don't, whatever the hell they are, blocks or whatever, and each block weighs close to nothing to everything, and, you know, I don't know. But because then we cube it all up, and it looks like a ton. And then, 3 sticks, like the super long sticks, like you guys can see me, the super long sticks of pepperonis. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. So that's where I've been. Before play practice, I did do a little more hunting, and then it's grind time now with play practice, and we got the setup, we got stuff coming around. It seems like, not that anybody from the play listens to this, so I can say this. Now it seems like we are a play. We are not just practicing on, you know, the corner or anything.
Yeah.
Actually have it set, and my worries and everything are kind of going away that I feel, okay, I'm getting this, good to go. So, you talk to me. Good. Like, you'll get it. You'll get it.
Yeah, you'll get it. It just takes time. And then once you guys lost the books, became more natural, more.
Yeah.
You figured it out, worked your way through it. I knew you could. I didn't say I haven't yet. If I could do it with a book in hand, whoo-wee, I could put on a show with a book in hand. Yeah. But, you still got a couple weeks, so you got this.
We'll get there.
You'll get there.
You're a couple days, essentially?
My couple days? What?
You had some running.
I always have some running. But, my couple days down to Meadville, hauling the load back up, just making rounds now around the tri-state area, just moving things and moving and grooving. And then I watched Full Gear Live, which was fantastic. I wish I could have texted you during it because I was losing my shit, obviously, during some of the matches and that.
And I didn't know when you watched it, so I didn't text you when I watched it.
Yeah. I had it already watched that Sunday or Saturday night, made it back right at the deadline. Did you watch it
with Kimberly?
No.
Oh my God!
Listen, if she saw the death match, I love Kimberly, but she's a very tame person and very much not into any of that, like blood and gore. And that even the ladder match probably would have scared her away, to be honest. And that was tame, especially with what came after that. But you know, I know better than that. Yeah, that was
drinking the Kool-Aid.
We'll get there. We will get there when we get there, but I will say I was like, this is not happening right now. Like a fucking watermelon, just cracked it open and started drinking. Anyways, outside of that, Sunday just kind of chilled. Had a little birthday party for Cody's son. So Cody Hetrick's son turned the big 3 on Sunday, so
retirement's right around the corner for that man.
I know. He needs to, well, his hair is showing it. I mean, he just needs to retire now. The Silver Fox is right on path there. But no, he's the little man's 3, so had a little birthday party, which essentially just consisted of a jungle jumping place with a bunch of inflatables inside. I did not partake.
Oh.
Listen, the last time I partaked at a trampoline park or anything like that, I injured myself, and I have retired from that life. So
For now.
yeah, for now, we'll see.
It always, trust me, it'll roll back around in time, and you get my drift.
Probably, yeah. So
That's a hint for anybody. Dude,
that is not a hint. Don't go down that road. That is not happening. But yeah, so that's been my couple of days, man. And then by the time everybody listens to this, I will have made a trip down to Pittsburgh and back. And yeah, and then hopefully I'll have Christmas decorations up. So we'll see what happens on that. But
speaking of which, Dave informed me, the upstairs dwellers, my family,
the upstairs dwellers,
they were going to do it all while I'm gone. Well, where I am right now, either Duke Game or WrestleCade.
Okay, one of the two, whichever one you're at.
That weekend they're doing it, and I'm like, oh, I get out of it. That's splendid.
Yeah,
good, because I listen. I don't like. I'm getting too okay with Christmas,
but you're not. Yeah,
not a decorator. Like it can come down December 25th at like 4:00 in the afternoon. Then
I'll tell you when I stop being a decorator. It's when I'm halfway through and all the shit's all over my living room, and then I'm like, fuck this, I'm done with it. But it's stupid at that point. Listen, I love Christmas and all that, but I don't do it until Black Friday. Purposely take that day off of work. Doesn't matter if it's nasty out or whatever. I'm not getting on ladders or anything, so I can kind of just set everything up and do all of that. Kimberly tried to get me to do it earlier this year, but I'm like, listen, when you move in, we'll figure that out. But she set up already this weekend at her apartment while she's moving in and all that. So we'll get it. We'll get there.
You can't do it before Black Friday. We talked about this last week. You're a big fan of Thanksgiving.
I am a huge fan. I mean, I have the waistline to support that, but
I didn't mean it like
I know you didn't, but I had to throw it in there.
So doing it November 19th.
I'm not a big fan. Listen, I will say the Sunday before Christmas, it was almost like a Christmas tradition or a Thanksgiving tradition. They played the really old animated Grinch on Turner Broadcasting at like 6:00 on a Sunday. Watch that. Okay, now I'm starting to get in the Christmas spirit a little bit, and by the end of the week, I'm gung-ho, ready to do it. I will also say the new Christmas song by the Kelsey Bros is really stuck in my head right now, and it's just fantastic because they're yelling about calling people jabronis and that in the middle of it. So it's a fantastic song. If you haven't listened to it, check it out. Listen to it. But yeah, that's been on repeat a lot. Anyways, I digress.
When will you be full-fledged into Christmas songs? Like you'll actually sing along with them?
This week. It's probably going to be this week sometime. I won't say. Like I took my mom to work earlier this month on November 1st, beginning of the month.
Right.
It snowed up here, but it wasn't anything major. But I'm being a smartass because I had told her the night before, watch it snow, and then it's just Christmas time is here, right? And she's like, no, it's not going to snow, da-da-da-da-da. Well, it snowed. So I pull up to her house, and I'm blaring Let It Snow, and just window down, and she's like, are you kidding me right now? I'm like, absolutely not. Yeah, let's go. So I was being a dick there. So I've had it sprinkled into the playlist a little bit, but I'll be full bore this week with it, probably by Friday at the latest.
I'm thinking on my way back. So as you guys are Monday on the way back, because I won't be around unless I'm at the Pitt game and Duke game and they play maybe something there.
There, right.
But listen, you guys think of really playing this up about which one. I really, as of right now, as recording, I don't know what I'm doing yet. I do know I'm going to Friday night WrestleCade, Sunday WrestleCade, Saturday,
Saturday, it's somewhere in there. You're going to something.
I'll be in North Carolina. But I think Monday on my way home, kind of maybe be a little jolly. You know, I've missed the family for a few days, get into their mood because they're ready. They would have this house like Santa threw up in it already.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I believe that. Because that a lot of people, and like I said, Kimberly, same way. November 1st, boom. But talk to her off that ledge. I'll probably be when I'm traveling to and from Pittsburgh, that'll probably be on the rotation. It'll just be playing, and then it's like, okay, we're in the holiday spirit, getting together with her family and that, so we'll figure it out from there.
Probably not right at 5 o'clock in the morning when I leave, though. That's probably got to be a little Offspring or something to get me going with the morning.
You gotta go heavy or something.
Yeah.
Fighters, Offspring, something to just bang on you, bang your head against the wall.
I know we've talked about like Hunter Call a while. Did you ever hunt as a kid? Were your family hunters and stuff?
My family is hunters. I'm not anymore, but like when my dad stopped being able to hunt, I kind of stopped because it was like, I don't want to go. I loved it. I love being with him and love spending time with him. I'm also not a big fan of sitting on a bucket in the middle of a forest, freezing my ass off either. So
wet log. Yeah,
wet log, things of that nature. They had a nice set. He had a nice setup. He had a folding chair. He had a brush and all that to hide behind. I had a fucking bucket and I was barely in the brush. So it was what it was, but I did, my first 2 years, I caught deer. Caught a buck and a doe my first 2 years.
You.
The buck was my first year hunting. 30 minutes into my first year hunting, got the buck.
Spoiled right off the bat.
I was spoiled right off the bat. So it was like, boom, pulled it. He dropped. So by that, I think back then, if you were under age, you could only get like one deer or something like that. And I think buck and doe were separated. So once you got your buck, you were done. So I got my buck. So I literally had to sit in the car for the entire day. Like my dad drove me around. We showed off the deer to my uncle and like we were hunting with my other uncles and they saw it too, but I had nothing to do. And by the afternoon, my cousin had joined me and my grandfather had joined me in the car because he didn't want to be out there hunting anymore. So we were just waiting on our dads, just kind of sitting in the car waiting.
Come on, guys.
Come on. And then my grandfather tried to.
We got our stuff already.
My grandfather chased after a deer they were sitting in the field across the road. We said, oh, look, there's some deer. He's like, give me my rifle. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, this is not going to go well. Sure enough, boom, went right after it. He's shooting. I'm like, oh, my God. And so our dads come out. My cousin and I are just looking at each other, and they're like, what the fuck is going on around here, right? And he goes, well, Grandpa went out after some deer, and my dad's just dropping F-bombs. He's like, God fucking damn it. Da, da, da. So he gets back, and then he yells at him a little bit, and it kind of ended that family hunting day for that. And since they were separated, that was the last time they were out hunting that year. Yeah, it's a fantastic story. I love laughing at that. The next year, we were there a couple hours, still got it in the morning, and then it was kind of done. And so it was what it was. But
I went once, did the whole hunter safety course thing, and I'm like,
so did I. Yeah.
I don't know. Even at that point, I'm like, I think they're just using me to listen, not that it's legal. They're using me to get another deer tag or something like this. So
yeah,
take Mark out into the woods. Listen, it was, I remember my first event too. Went out and it was clearly years before you. It was like when we had winters down here. And it was 90 feet of snow, negative ass degrees, and we didn't buy any of the cool stuff. It was just like you lean against a tree, you brush off snow, or you sit in the snow. It's not even daylight yet. I'm like,
oh no.
When are the deer coming? Shut your mouth. How much longer? And it's like an hour out of, we have to drive like an hour to get to where they are.
Yeah.
Shut up. Can I just go back to the truck? No. Can't let you sit in the truck, you fucking idiot. I'll just nap. No, you're whatever the hell, 10 I think you are when you can hunt, 10, 11.
Yeah,
no,
10,
you're
11.
Not sit in the truck. I mean, that's even like in the 80s, and people weren't stealing people as much, but yada, yada, yada. I went one day, they're like, you're done. You do not want to do this. I'm like, no, I don't. We can just go to the store and get meat, can't we?
Yeah. Right.
From then on, the next day, do you just want to sell your shit on, on the trade magazine? It used to be called. You call this 1-800 number in these little people, not little people, this little area around here had this magazine. People were like, oh my God, we're looking for this stuff. There's no, not that there's Walmart or anything. You're selling it already? Yeah, this kid's never going to hunt a day in his life. And I'm like, I didn't. But I'll go to hunting camp, and I'll be like a puller with people if they need help, or I'll be the cook or the stirrer or whatever. I love that. And it's not that I don't, this is going to sound bad on Mark, that I don't mind killing. I don't want to wait. You know, I'm not, you guys know me by now. There's no wait for Mark. There's, all right, I'm out here. Where is it? Oh, you might have to wait until next Friday.
Yeah.
What? They should be fucking prancing around out here for me. They should be like duck hunt. Yeah. Nobody wanted to take me.
It is an experience and a half. If you've tried it, if you haven't, if you have, you say, you have to shut up. You're there at the ass crack of dawn. You're cold, and you may have slivers of beef jerky in your jacket just to kind of suffice to get you where you need to be, and some sort of coffee. But
all gone by the time we got to where we were sitting.
Oh, I believe it. And like in your case, you probably went to the game lands or something, so you had nothing. For my family, they knew a couple people. There was one guy's land that was near the border, so he's like, yeah, come on. And then you could set up camp, put in like folding chairs or buckets and just hang out and build up your brush and all that. But my cousins do it now. They have stories out the ass. My favorite one that we make fun of my one cousin about is, so I got to go down this route. His brother and him still hunt, and they have a friend that owns a bunch of acreage up here. And so they go there. Well, my one cousin, that's about the same age as me, he does archery. He caught a deer, could never find it. Couldn't find the arrow, couldn't find the deer. Didn't know what happened, didn't know if he hit it, what happened, right? So about a month later, back out hunting, this time with rifle. So is his brother out there, right? Brother shoots a deer, goes up to it. This deer's got some gangrene going on it, right? So he takes it to the butcher, the taxiderm and all that. Processor. He's going to save it so he can get the head mounted and all that stuff. They tell him, yeah, it was the weirdest thing. It looked like there was an arrow broken off in it. And so it's the same fucking deer. But he put a little plaque that said my cousin's name on it in my first deer. And so when he moved, I'm like, nah, this ain't going to fly. I took clear packaging tape with a Post-it and put my other cousin's name on it and taped it over his plaque name. And then we loaded it in the truck, and and they had a scooter and all that in there. So we buckled it into the scooter. So it's just this deer head sitting on the scooter, and we shut the door. He opens it. Jumps back because he doesn't anticipate a deer head in the car. Then he sees the Post-it and he's like, you motherfucker, why would you fucking do that? I go, it's Pat's deer. I don't know what you want from me. And so it was a whole thing. So
he got it first with the arrow.
He got it first with the arrow and killed it. It was having its slow death anyway, so he got it. But yeah.
Nice. As you can tell, we don't have any hot topics. So I do want to wish, in Pennsylvania, just to let you guys know, it is first day deer hunting. So anybody that's out there listening to us as you're getting ready to hunt, sounds like something Mark would do. Good luck deer hunting for the next couple of weeks or whatever.
Good luck. Enjoy it. Stay warm. Don't shoot anybody.
Yeah.
Don't get caught if you do.
We take venison.
Okay. Yeah, we do take venison, all forms, shapes, sizes. What do you got? Bring it here.
If you email us at cancrusher69@gmail.com, we'll give you somebody's address to ship us venison.
Whichever one's closer. We'll figure it out and get ice packs to you or something. But we take venison. Before we get too far as well, I would be remiss. Happy 2-year anniversary, Kimberly. It's going to be 2 years on the 28th. So happy 2 years. That'll be next Tuesday, or the Tuesday coming up when you guys are listening to this. So happy anniversary. Tuesdays, and God bless you for putting up with me this long. So
yes, happy anniversary, you too. Many, many more. And Here's to what's yet to come.
Yeehaw.
All right. Let's do our due diligence because I want to talk about Full Gear because holy Christ in a handbag. Yeah, you guys know. You watched it. If you didn't watch it and you're going to listen to us tell you about it, Donnie Bambino, go back and buy it and watch it because we're going to do some of the stuff injustice because it was so fucking good.
It was injustice, and there's about the middle of the pack to the end was just chef's kiss of just storytelling after storytelling. Very good.
Collar on Elbow. Hats, hoodies, tees, all the cool stuff that Al Snow and Hooligans have down at Collar on Elbow. Make sure you buy, and then use our promo code
Can Crushers. Get 10% off at Collar and Elbow. And, hey now, we do have a discount code for WWEshop.com as well. It does work. Sometimes it doesn't, but you can buy some great gear for whoever you want.
It's an affiliate code.
It is an affiliate code. I'm sorry. Yeah. Affiliate code. My bad.
Well, if we say discount code, then we're on the line for it.
So it's affiliate code. You may get discount, you may not, but
right. And it's always tagged. Both of them are always tagged in the show notes.
Enjoy them.
Click on them. You'll be good to go. They also pop up on our socials once in a while, which is Facebook, Instagram,
Twitter, X, Threads.
I have not posted on Threads in probably 2 weeks just because, listen, wrestlers are even telling me now, that's all I get is sex bots.
I believe it.
I've just dealt with one sex bot area. I don't need any.
Then that more. Well, I'll tell you what, Instagram is now pushing Threads like in a preview area, and they just scroll past it because I want nothing to do with Threads. But
you don't. Listen, X was a cesspool. It kind of still is, but Threads
kind of cleaned itself up a little bit. Yeah.
Threads is like the swamp match between Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman. Nothing good came out of it. Nothing good came out of it. Right?
Yeah, I mean, agreed.
And again, our Gmail is cantcrusher69@gmail.com, or you can call us.
814-299-6687. He threw me off. First of all, never in my wildest dreams did I think I would hear about the swamp match between Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman again. So that threw me off. But the number is 814-299-6687. 3 minutes in length, not 14 missed calls. Dan Mucci, we will leave you on red. So,
just to let you know, Dan Mucci may be joining us next week.
We're trying. I'm trying to work the magic up here.
We're trying. Dan Mucci may be joining us for a week recap and then predictions about our show when we go to see Collision in Erie. Bryan Danielson watched 2023. Right?
Yeah.
We'll hear a lot about Goldust, I would imagine.
That's probably going to be the dominate. I swear to God, if Dustin Rhodes is in this tournament and he starts fights in Erie,
I hope he does.
I hope he does too, but I hope it's like a squash match to Bryan Danielson.
His face for this.
Because after he tried to paint his face for Kiss, we don't need to see that. That was horrifying in its own right. That visual alone has left nightmares in many people's minds.
The half face that he's doing now, but just do a gold since he loves Goldust more than Dustin Rhodes. But I digress. I think,
if we get enough drinks in him, maybe.
And we're going to have a whole Saturday.
That's true. That is true. Did we talk about where they can listen to us? Because I didn't hear Padre Emma, so they got to listen.
No, we didn't. That's a good call. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, trying to pay all the bills, not some of them. So you can listen to us at Apple, Google, all of the podcasting networks for sweet, sultry voices. But I would recommend Podurama, where you can get a lifetime discount at 50% off. Sign up, hear us along with the voices of like Stone Cold Steve Austin and Busted Open and all of those great podcasting chats. So there we go.
Now they heard about it.
Now they heard about it.
And IMDb.
Oh, IMDb. We haven't mentioned that in a couple weeks.
Right.
We're stars. We got to start.
Now that the play is coming around, I have to.
Now, do we get, so just curiosity now that we're under the week away from the Danielson Watch 2024 in Erie, Pennsylvania. 2023. Would we have, 2023, I like saying 2024. We have to put on IMDb that we're going to be on Collision, right? I mean, at some point the camera should catch us.
Right.
So I'm just saying that has to make it to our IMDb page.
It better.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
These B-rated movies that I was in. One of them might have a Can Crusher shirt in. I don't remember.
We definitely need to get the play on there, too. Because now you're part of a musical. Yet. But I get that when it's ready. Get the musical, get the play in there, get the acting in there. We got to get you ready for your EGOT.
You don't understand the rest of these actors, actresses in the play with me. They just don't understand, like, how big this play is going to be once it's released. They just have no clue.
Sometimes that works out for the best because they don't get too nervous. They're more relaxed, and it's a more natural feeling to the play. I mean, it might work out in your benefit.
When it goes to DVD, though, you look out Star Wars, blowing the numbers out of the water.
Gonna blow the Star Wars Christmas special out of the water.
Maybe even Emmett Otter and a junk band. I don't know. That's my favorite one. No, I
know it is. I know it is.
Here comes Al Snow to tell you more about Colin now. When we come back, we're full in on Full Gear.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
Hi, this is Bulk Nasty, and you're listening to Can Crushers podcast. I'm not sure, just two guys cornered me, so here you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Can Crushers. It's Marcus, Mike. We're getting fully in Full Gear. I tried being cool, bringing it back. I don't know. I just don't have any good comebacks today. Listen,
that was good.
We're off. I'm off kilter at least.
You're fine. You did what you needed to do. You brought us back. You're good. You're still thinking about hunting. Call it a while.
Not anymore. That left 30 seconds after I said it. So I will hand it over to Sir Michael Jenks to kind of a little bit about 0 Hour, because I did see the minuscule part of 0 Hour via clips and everything, because I did not watch it live on Saturday. I watched it Sunday night. He watched it live. There's only really one big take out of it. Yeah, really the biggest take was, and as you guys all know, MJF getting jumped at the end of the Guns MJF Samoa Joe fight. We can go quickly through all of them, but that was the biggest takeaway, and that was the biggest key component that carried on through the rest of the night, as everybody who watched it knows. Eddie defended against Jay Lethal, which I wish we would have had a little more this was coming up, because we knew Jay Lethal won the title opportunity, but we didn't know when it was going to actually happen. So, I mean, it was a good contest, ended a little bit differently because Ortiz is now seemingly sided back with Eddie, or just breaking away from Sanjay in that, because Ortiz came out, hit the guitar shot on Sanjay Dutt, which that was a beautiful shot. He had a good swing on that. So A+, better than Jeff Jarrett sometimes. I'll get the hate on that one, but it was a nice hate on that one because I love myself some Jeff Jarrett. I love Jeff Jarrett's guitar shots as much as the other guy, anybody else, but man, that Ortiz one right on point to Sanjay, and Sanjay played it up good. But Eddie wins based on the distractions, so that was what it was. I won't say, but Buddy Matthews, Claudio, Wrestling Clinic 101 type thing, as we come expect. Yeah, that one, it was just straight up, no frills, nothing going on, just straight up fighting. It's not pushing like House of Black versus Blackpool Combat Club or anything like that, but it was just a straight up match, which Claudio won with the sharpshooter, but pretty good nonetheless, because Buddy Matthews and Claudio are those guys. Buddy Matthews they can cook. Buddy Matthews needs a singles title soon.
or something. Give him something to do.
Agreed. The all so black, and
yeah.
we'll be gloating on them here in a minute.
Oh yeah, for sure. ROH tag titles defense. Obviously, MJF and Samoa Joe retained them. MJF really kind of stayed away from Joe for the majority of the match until Joe tagged in and pretty much just cleaned the slate. Adam Cole showed up, which would play in later on in the night, obviously, but Joe picks up the victory, and then the attack happened after that, which I wasn't surprised they retained against the Guns. I don't think anybody else was at all.
We have MJF winning.
Yeah, against the Guns. And that was the other thing. 2 of the matches weren't announced till Friday night going into Saturday, so we didn't even know those were coming up. But, so MJF gets attacked, gets sent off in an ambulance, and now we go to the pay-per-view. When did that come up? I can't remember if it was right after that. We'll just jump there. So let's go into the pay-per-view, but all of a sudden, go ahead.
Well, watching this going into it, when I click on the pay-per-view, they started with, from Sunday night when I started watching it, they had like 3 minutes. So everything's kind of like, if you were watching it live, it wouldn't have been where I was when you were.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to give you that little bit that MJF was beat up. Then they did, oh my God, we're going off air. Make sure you subscribe, not subscribe, buy it, whatever. Then they went into don't try this at home, yada, yada, yada. So when he got beat up, it spoiled the rest of the night for MJF for me. Not that we didn't know.
Yeah.
I knew, well, MJF's going to make it limp down, da-da-da-da-da-da. And this is all prior to anything being announced. This is how we're playing it. I know you guys all know what happened, and da-da-da-da-da, but as we're watching it, I'm like, well, he's going to limp down. He's going to win somehow.
Yeah.
But the twist added something, and we'll get to that. But the first match, Team Copeland against Team Christian, essentially. The kids singing.
Oh, my God.
I loved it. And you know how you usually hate those.
But it made sense.
Oh, I love the kids singing.
I love the freaking pronouns going, or the adjectives describing Christian on the countdown. Yeah. And I think I like the tweet with all of them on there. So if you give me a second here, let me find it. But, oh my God, it was so perfect.
I forgot Flair was even coming out or going to be with them.
I didn't know.
Why is Flair? Oh, yeah, that's right. He said he's riding along with Sting until Revolution. Except on every other show.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that Flair was going to be there and all that. I was like, what the fuck is Flair doing here?
It did nothing for me. Go ahead.
It did nothing. Okay, so Christian's, the words that appeared: inspirational, wise, selfless, loved, courageous, generous, compassionate, respected, sacrificing. The Father of the Year, Christian Cage.
He's all of those.
He is all of those and everything more.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
I tell you that Adam Copeland looked great with the face paint.
I love that.
Everything I've shit on when Punk has done it or anybody else, I'm like, man, it's not their thing. I think Copeland should do it more.
I think it fits him more. But it's like, it fits him definitely more, and he could rock the character with it. But to your point, I don't think he's going to do it more unless it's like a face paint type thing. Yeah, but
we're not going to see it again. I really doubt it. Plus, Darby is going to climb Mount
Everest apparently, but he had about the fall of a man climbing Mount Everest when Lucha suplexed him or chokeslammed him
onto the aprons again. Darby's stupid.
Darby, it's somebody tweeted, here's why Darby's not going to make it till 40. And that was another example of him not making it till 40. Why? Like, I get, he didn't hit it, but at the same time,
he hit it.
So why would you do that? Like, I don't get why Darby does half the things he does.
Stir the pot. Who touched who first? Did Christian touch Flair first, or did Flair?
I thought Flair touched Christian first.
Me too.
Because
like,
my note,
right?
Yeah, it should have been DQ because my note was Flair attacking Christian. It wasn't. I don't remember Christian pushing Flair, but maybe I missed it. Maybe it happened. I don't know. But he deserved a low blow after that.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah.
But Nigel, why we gotta say he comes back more often than herpes, and at this point he's just as welcome.
Is Nigel trying to be, and I'm going to compare him, is Nigel trying to be Corey Graves? Like, Corey Graves is a bastard asshole, and I love him.
Yeah.
1 week, Nigel is waving the flag of every face in the company that he needs to stick with a character.
Well, but that's the thing, though. On Collision, he rides the line of heel loving and then sometimes face loving. It's weird, that dynamic, but I think he's leaning more into being the heel commentator. I agree. He does it perfectly. He's absolutely great at it. So I wish he would just kind of steer and stay in that lane more often than not.
I agree. Lucha gets hit with the title. Christian leaves kind of both of them. Is that kind of a little bit of a foreshadowing that maybe there's not a name, but Team Christian, there's going to be an explosion soon?
I think it has to be soon, and I think that leaves Christian alone with Copeland at World's End because he escaped them now because he had others to take the hits for him. So now I would just blow it. Everybody blows it up, and that makes sense why they did the whole Father of the Year entrance type thing. But
yeah, and he leaves.
And he leaves. Yeah, he just disappears with the belt, and then
I gotta go get some milk.
I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta go see in 20.
Again, I put this is not over. It did what it needed. I mean, I'm shocked that this was the opener. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, because it wasn't the openers you would expect to be a little bit more high energy, more to it. But I think also maybe Darby had a strict playing time he had to leave by, so he had to get in and out of there real quick. So that could have been
clearly he's in LA. He's going
across
the Pacific.
Yeah, he's going across the Pacific, across the date line. He's going to Mount Everest, so he had to get out of there. I'm assuming he had to get out there in the red eye.
Good for him.
Yeah,
we're gonna follow his journey probably.
We are. Oh yeah, for sure.
See what he's doing, but yeah, overall. I liked the match. It did what it needed to do, but it wasn't anything. It was just wonky that a 6-man match, for me, started probably one of their bigger shows.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but this felt like it would have been a filler match, and maybe that's why they made it match 1, so people would stay, watch Copeland wrestle. Yeah, you have a lot of legends in this match, so maybe they just hope that would stir up what they need them to.
This is the announcement, then, that we were kind of foreshadowing and dancing around. Tony comes out with Bryce Remsburg. Why the hell does Remsburg need to be there? Nothing against Bryce. I love him.
But he's not.
I thought he was going to make the announcement.
I thought so, too. But Bryce is just standing, maybe because he's the referee and he has to officially declare the match, maybe. I don't know. All this reminded me is of WCW when they had the damn championship committee and you'd see J.J. Dillinger come out or whatever and fucking J.J. Dillon, and I was like, it always reminded me of Slamboree 94 with Sting, and they stripped Roode of the title because of the back injury, but said this brought back way too many memories, because I just remember them telling him he stripped of the title because he used a knee drop, and that was just the most asinine thing I thought about when I was 10 years old, or 6 at that point. I'm like, this doesn't fucking make any sense. But
you knew back then.
I knew back then, but anyways.
So Jay White was going to be crowned the new champ. Adam Cole limps out with his crutches and says, because MJF's not cleared to wrestle, Adam Cole's going to take his spot. And this is where it was too early in the show for this. Because it literally just happened 20 minutes ago before the Copeland match. And we didn't need to hear about it for the next 3 hours.
Yeah,
and it was every match. So I'm like, okay, this should have happened maybe after the Mox and Orange match, or maybe even after Tony Storm's match. which is a couple down the line. But, yeah, too early.
No, I completely agree. It was way too early, but I also think it was obviously too obvious but I think they played on this, though. Because here's why I think this. I think they played on people's thoughts and fucked with people's minds, because there's a lot of people saying, oh, Adam Cole's not really injured. This isn't a real injury. This isn't da-da-da-da-da. So now you do this at the beginning of the show, and it's like, oh, fuck. Oh, maybe he's not. And then you're investing more in that. So maybe the thing was, let's throw this out here after match 1. See if people can get more buy rates for people coming in and saying, oh, there's shit going down. You need to come back. Yeah, you need to go buy it if you haven't bought it yet. Or jump on and you haven't. So maybe it was a strategic
marketing
play.
Man thinking of that. That's a great thing.
That's me being delusional probably, but I would assume that could have been something they were trying to do, is stir up a little bit of this could happen or things of that nature. Honestly, I was sitting there thinking, maybe they just pull a fucking finger poke of doom, and I'm like, if they do that, they're fucking tanked, so they can't do that. But
never thought that.
But I was like, I don't know why they would do that unless it was all a ruse. He was in on it with Jay White in the Bang Bang Gang. You know what I mean? So
with Cole,
yeah.
I get it.
So
good thinking. I was thinking, well, same thing I thought at the beginning. MJF's coming back at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Coming back at some point. He's not going to let his best friend wrestle, but shenanigans will occur. And essentially they did, but we'll get there when we get there. Mox against Orange. I'll eat crow. I'm now, after I watched it, I'm happy OC won. I got it wrong. By the way, we both got the Team Copeland match right. Okay, so everybody knows. I lost this one. I picked Mox. Jenksies picked OC. I see more now with OC than I could have with Mox.
Yeah.
Touche, my son. Touche.
To me, it was just, there's so many possibilities, or at least the right person's in place now, and they had to just tie off the Mox storyline. But I also think they were rushing it a little bit, or just for some reason they needed to extend out what they were trying to do with it. Because Mox becoming superhuman at one point.
A 6-pack of OC punches
before he toppled over. And then, like, here's my thing. Like, what was it? Last week they had the tag team match. Nothing was affecting him. Mox was not. All of a sudden, Mox is Super Cena and just standing in the ring taking shots. And it's like, where the fuck has this been for the past 3 months when you've been having them attack each other and all that? So to me, it was like, what the fuck is going on? But then when you force OC into to fight dirty, that's when things started breaking down for Mox. But to your point, 6 orange punches.
And then a beach break.
And then a beach break to take down Mox. It
solidifies it. It
does.
Really does.
Yeah.
And listen, it doesn't hurt Mox.
No.
Mox can go right after MJF before this recording even hits you guys' ear holes. If that happens, I'm all right with that. Like, Mox, he's just that guy that when we had the first media scrum, he carried the company.
Right.
So this guy is ill repute. Cannot touch him.
No, that's very true. But I think the other thing is, well, let's face it, had Mox not gotten injured, this storyline, I think everything would have made sense up to the point that they were at.
Right.
I think they just had to take a couple weeks off, and I think that kind of disjointed it, at least in my mind. I don't know about others, but that disjointed up Mox being the super guy.
Around this. It was like the women's champion last year.
Yeah, exactly. There's too many injuries, too many things going on, so you always have that, like, it's not fully there, but it's fully there. They delivered 100%, but it just wasn't fully there for me to understand it. But
Khan makes it official. Adam Cole and Jay White tonight. It's official. Boom. And then we get the announcement that Andrade and Briscoe are in the Continental Tournament. And we'll get more on that later, which... Whoa,
yeah.
Whoa,
that one.
Were we wrong?
Oh, we were way off. on that.
I'm more excited about this tournament now, but I digress again. Toni Storm against Shida, women's title match. Your girl, Mariah May, is watching in the back. I love the 80s references. The Karate Kid, to this, to that. I'm like, oh my God.
They were throwing it on there. They were loading it up at that point.
The golden heel, one in her pants, one in her hand. I love this Toni Storm. This match, not that I didn't like Toni Storm, but this match gave it to me with Toni. Because, listen, at the end, when that pan is hanging out of her ass, God love, I believe it was Aubrey.
Yeah.
In the match. I don't know if it was supposed to be hanging out of her ass that much or whatever, and there's probably going to be purists that are, this is fucking stupid. I don't care. That's the shenanigans that Toni Storm's going to use. Yes, I want more of those because that's more of a character in the women's division than we have seen
anywhere.
Unless Toni is craziest with it herself. Now she's going to put a fucking pan in her ass to do her ass crunch in the corner. Yes. It was stupid, but I loved it.
And the best part of that was she tried to adjust it before she ran it across. And then she forgot it, and Shida wasn't ready yet, so then she had to run back, then she had to adjust it, and then she ran it forward and hit it, and then it was like, oh my God.
All the way out there.
Out there, yeah, at that point. And it's right at Aubrey's face.
Aubrey turned her head so she couldn't see it.
Yeah, she couldn't look at it. I'm like, and it's a bright silver pan, so it's out. Oh my God.
But I think this sets up a lot more. As we said, we think that there's going to be a Monet problem shortly. And listen, they have history. It's Britt and Saraya, kind of. It's a comfortability thing. So maybe Mercedes coming off of her injury, working with Toni for the first time, whatever. Yeah. I'm excited for all of it. And then she gets her flowers at the end.
Yeah. She does. She gets flowers. She thanks the crowd. She was timeless. I was so glad it went to black and white when she won too. Just the filter applied. I
am glad that they didn't do the whole match in black and white though. I am too. But it wasn't her title match. It was her title match.
But it wasn't her title defense. Yeah.
I'm wondering if we get her title defenses in black and white.
Maybe, but I don't think they're going to be that cute with it. Vince was over the top, obviously, with the Dean stuff. I don't think they're going to get that cute with it. It'll be black and white for her to get to the ring, and then it'll be okay, normal style, normal coloring of match in that. So,
I hope. Yeah. The next announcement comes. Oh, by the way, we both had Toni as well. Okay, so we're both doing pretty well. I have one loss right now. Kingston is with Renee. He's putting both titles up in this Continental tournament, along with it's going to be its own title.
Yeah, and then we learned from Tony Khan, all three might be together at the end of it.
First triple American title, or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, now it comes to, I still think it's probably Danielson's. I will say that. I still think, but you're not going to get, and I hate to say this, you're not going to get Wheeler Yuta in this. Not that we don't like him. You're not going to get Andrade Jackson or whatever the fuck his name is. What's his name? Action Andrade.
Yeah.
There's names in it, and there's already names in this with the Andrade and Elo and Bryan Danielson, now Kingston, and who's the other one that Briscoe.
Briscoe, yeah. There's big names in this match.
I wouldn't, maybe you get Okada. Maybe how long does he have on he's over here.
Yeah. So why not put him in the tournament? It's Danielson Okada at Wrestle Kingdom, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they hold off on that, and that's the first defense of it but they can't announce it right now because it's obviously the tournament hasn't happened yet, so they don't give away the ending of the tournament, but maybe that's for that title at fucking Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a fucking... I mean, it was already going to be...
At 4 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday.
I will wake up...
Seems like we're not going to work that day.
I'm fucking take off. That's the first week back in office. I'm taking off.
Mark, you've just had every Friday off for the last 6 months. Yep, I'm needing a Tuesday this week, boss.
Don't worry about it. I'm fine.
Not that they're on Tuesdays. We're just, yeah. Then we get the 4-way tag team match. And as recording last week, we made our predictions that it was going to be a normal 4-way match.
Yep.
And this is what happens sometimes when we get caught with our pants down because Collision's on as we're recording or Rampage is on after we're recording or whatever. It turns into a ladder match. I had FTR in the ladder match. Not being a dick, I'm probably not taking FTR in the ladder match ever.
Yeah.
Not their style.
It's not their style. And the same with the House of Black. They were there to be bullies, not win a ladder match. And that's basically what happened here.
And LFI, they're just back on the scene.
Yeah.
So what we're both saying is, we got this wrong, but we both would have taken the champs if we would have knew it was a ladder match. And that's not trying to cover us because it doesn't do nothing for the bet. Because we both got it wrong, or we both would have got it right if we would have taken the champs. I enjoyed this. I'm not a big fan of multi-team ladder matches all the time because it can get really crazy. First and foremost, props to the fucking crowd for chanting meat.
Oh, when Big Bill and Brody were going at it. I love that.
Pile driver on the ladder, and then was it Dax? No, it was Cash jumping on Brody onto the ladder.
Oh,
Pile driver on the fucking barrier.
Yeah, how the fuck do you pull that off? Like, I jumped. I was like, no.
Yeah. I thought this was, and we're getting there, don't worry. We all know what you guys want to hear from us. But I thought, all right, it wasn't blood. Was there blood in this? Maybe a little bit.
There was a little bit. There was anything.
But I'm like, this might be up there for match of the night. Because listen, I've already thrown MJF and Jay White or Adam Cole and Jay White out the window. It's not going to be a match.
Yeah.
We've seen Mox and OC. It was a good match. It wasn't match of the night caliber for me.
It didn't live up to the first one, that's for sure.
No.
So, yeah. No.
So I thought, oh shit, this might be match of the night. So I'm invested with everything going on. Ladders fucking get thrown into the crowd, this, that, and the other. I'm like, holy moly, I'm sweating. I didn't know who was going to win this match. I had no clue.
I had no goddamn clue.
Loved it.
Well, that's what I loved. And this was the first ladder match I've seen in a long time that actually wasn't like normal spot bad, and the spots made sense. Like, and to me, when you had Brody and Bill at the beginning of the match, everybody's fighting and they're just staring at each other. Before the meat chants and beat chants and all that, they're just two bulls locked in. And I'm like, oh, this is it. This is everything in this match. That's a story. The storytelling that was told with this match, with not much story there besides they just had these guys cross each other for a couple weeks, was phenomenal. And then Funaki, phenomenal. I have to call up the Cash and Roosh spot at the beginning of the match where they climbed up the ladder, looked at each other, and climbed right back down and started beating the shit out of each other. Excellent. We don't need to beat each other up on top. Just come back down and have a fight. Just have your fist fight. Love it. Do whatever you got to do. But to your point, it had spots, but the spots made sense. It wasn't stupidity around it. And I think that's with the level of talent sitting in there and saying, guys, we don't need to do ape shit crazy here. We just need to do things that make sense, that we can be well protected. We can make it brutal. We can make it, but protect each other at the same time. So I think this match was leaps above the ROH one that happened earlier this year that took, I think it was Dante Martin out because of what happened to him, because they were just doing spots to do spots to make it happen. This had a story. This told it in particular fashion. It was beautifully done.
I will say the House of Black will probably have a hell of a feud with Ricky and Bill. If anything was set up from this, it's that those two teams. Listen, I knew Bill was big, and Brody's a large human being, both height and width.
Mm-hmm.
Bill's got fucking inches.
He's got at least.
Christ, I didn't think he was that much taller than Brody.
See, when they talk 7 feet, you think they're fucking like 6'9", 6'8". You're not going to know anything. Yeah.
Right.
No, Big Bill's legit at least 6'11", because Brody's 6'6", and he's looking up. So I didn't think that was the case, but
I just want those two to go at it all the time.
I would watch that. Big Bill has improved so much since he's come to AEW and been on the Indies. And in Impact, no, I shouldn't say Indies, but in Impact in AEW, he can have a good match. He can have a pretty decent match if you let him cook. So him and Brody, just put him on Collision.
Just fight the fight. Just
you know what?
Like each other.
December 2nd, just put him in.
Yeah.
Give me big meaty men flapping meat in Erie, Pennsylvania.
To start the show for half an hour.
Half an hour.
I'll go half an hour though. But
just have them brutalize each other.
I like I said, I love this match. We both got it wrong. Whatever. It doesn't matter that we got it wrong. It was glorious. TBS Championship match.
If it wasn't for the one other match that happened right after this was my match of the night. These women cooked and were fire in this match.
They were. And I thought we both got it wrong for the longest time.
Yeah.
But Julia wins. Super stoked. We'll get more on that here in a second. Julia won the title. This was Stat's coming out party.
Yep, it was.
She doesn't give two shits about this TBS title Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whenever she's going to be on. No fucking way. Nor should she.
Nope. This is her right into the next upper echelon. She's hit the main event now. She's passed the torch, and now it's with Julia and Sky to let them carry the torch forward as they continue to build their resumes up. Chris was the focal point in who kept the match going and in the same realm, but then Sky and Julia were the perfect mix to kind of help jeopardize everything and just make it the perfect storm that it ended up being.
This was also probably Sky and Julia's best matches in a long time as well. These three, fourth wall, if they practice it for a week or whatever they did to get this spot on, Jenks, this may be match of the year. Yeah. It was that fucking good for me. By the way, Blue's new music, and she tosses the hat and puts a crown on now.
Oh my God. That was I think that's what started it, because it made the transition more.
No more Scooby-Doo.
Yep, no more Scooby-Doo. It's gone. Then I was like, oh shit, this is full on Julia and her. And during the first third of the match, they hadn't touched. No. They were just beating up Chris and not doing anything to each other. I put in my notes, they're not even attacking each other. They have to be in cahoots. Literally 2 seconds after I wrote cahoots, boom, they fucking hit each other. I'm like, God damn it. But
there's still a story there.
There's a lot of a story there. And I think that at World's End is going to be maybe her first title defense is Sky Blue. Again, and they're going to revisit this whole story and keep this going for at least the next 6 weeks to vet this out.
The crown on for a reason. Listen, Julia wasn't, I'm spinning this.
Yeah.
Julia came out with her hat and, her cloak and everything on House of Black. Her outfit was red.
Yeah.
Julia doesn't wear red.
Julia wears black. There's something going on here. Yeah.
Something going on there. And why does Sky get the crown?
Yeah.
Are we seeing, first of all, Julia's loved. All the women are loved. But
right.
Julia, everybody, there was a huge ass pop when she won.
Yep.
A huge pop.
Big
Everybody
pop.
wanted it. So, does Sky, is there a dethrone in the House of Black? Is there a double? I mean, Sky's already teetering. Julia's all the way heel. Is there a double switch coming? Because Julia's that much over?
Maybe, but I don't know.
Not though.
I hope not either, because I think this has done wonders for her, and I don't see a character outside of this right now for her.
She can't go back
that
to
makes sense. No, God, no, and I think she's too far past that. But how do you go from House of Black to nothing? That's like, how do you make that transition here? She's fit the role perfectly.
Right.
But let's go off that theory though. It's the group she's been in that's helped push her to succeed and she's listened to. So if they're making an interchanging of the women here, Julia's outgrown the system. Maybe Sky Blue enters the system to hone her craft. It's almost, I don't want to say training ground, but it's kind of a training ground because Julia was rough around the edges when she started with the House of Black. Now she's cutting promos. She's fighting in great matches. She's taking it to the next level. Sky Blue can have great matches. Her promo skills are a little off kilter, but they need refinement.
All right, but yeah.
You put her in the House of Black, you put her with guys like Brody and Malachi and Buddy to that extent, that kind of help foster that a little bit more. You're setting up your women's division for having a great deal of success. For years to come, is it the ideal path to have them go through the same group all the time? No, but it's a way to get them to where they need to be.
We know that Tony Khan, that's a farce by both of us, I would imagine.
Right. Yeah.
We know Tony Khan's still bringing the Salem sisters or what did you say, the Crown Sisterhood or something like that?
The Coven.
Yeah, the Covenant,
The Covenant. Yeah.
We know he stole that. This is starting the Covenant.
Yeah.
This is still a slow. Listen, Julia wore that black face paint as a cheerleader for months. We didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yep.
Maybe Sky's moving it a little bit faster than, it was pandemic time as well with Julia.
Right.
So maybe she's moving hers along a little bit more. They're going to have a battle to see who runs the Covenant, maybe.
Yeah.
But Willow's going to be playing into this.
Willow's gotta be, yeah.
She's probably going to be the one decimated first by both of them. And I know that's your girl.
Well, no, here's the thing. Is she decimated or is she playing the farce too? And playing it off? Like the other ones aren't showing it more and more that they're been overtaken by it. Will's playing a good game, but at the same time in interviews, she's serious, then she's not, then she's back to serious.
She needs to spit on again.
Heather needs to be misted. Yeah, I was like, don't want to say that, but she needs to be misted. Yeah. She needs to be misted again, or...
Bobby Alamar's coming up.
Yeah, Great Muta oh my God, we gotta talk to the press conference after that, but, what I was going to say is maybe it's not even she needs misted again. I think she might be just playing a farce that Julia is constructing here and saying, and she may have already turned, but Julia is having her play along to get the best of her opponents and using it to her advantage at some point in time. It didn't need to happen during the triple threat, but it could happen at World's End or some other some other point. But
agreed. Listen, no matter what one he calls it, the Covenant, the Salem Sisters, whatever, it's ours. Before he even wrote this on a piece of paper, we thought about it.
Yeah, exactly. So he stole it from us. Yeah. Once again.
So I'm super excited that Julia got her flowers. Like, I just think this is, and I'm worried that it's not going to maybe be long. It might be a back and forth between her and Sky for a little bit or something. I don't know. But I think this is where they mentioned Jade Cargill. 25-0, 900-0, whatever her goddamn reign was. I'm shocked that they mentioned her. first and foremost. But AEW does more like that than WWE.
They will acknowledge things, yeah.
This was maybe this was supposed to happen a while ago. And this is now the reset for this to, as I've always said, I think this is the younger women's title. The Julias, the Skies, the Red Velvet coming back from an injury, to maybe Abaddon that we don't get to see much, or something like that gets more of those younger ones on TV for, I'm alright if this TBS title is like the old NWA title. When Arn had it, he'd defend it 3 or 4 times, he'd lose it to whoever, Magnum, Dusty, Couple weeks later, Arn gets it back. He moves it on. That's what this title's made for. I think to have that title underneath your reign, like Julia does now, it already gives her that push. Sky needs it. Willow really doesn't need it. She's had the
New Japan Strong title and all that stuff.
She got Owen, but still, again, we forget about Owen's thing. So that little title again, stuff like that. And I hope that's what they're going to do with this title. But I'm glad Julia has hers. Youngest champion ever.
Yeah, she's only 21 right now. Yeah.
And just turned.
Just turned 21 last month.
Yeah. Honeymoon or whatever.
Yeah. Wild.
That just seems to me that AEW is like, lots of stock in this girl. We love her.
Lots of stock in her. She's taking in everything she's hearing about. She's not even close to her prime yet.
God, close.
And she's got the title, but at the same time, she deserves the title. She's holding the crowd in the palm of her hand. She can hold the match in any form or fashion. She's light years ahead of it.
Hey, Shorty Lee, you went with Cody down to the Nightmare Factory. Look at me. I'm
TBS champion. The favorite tweet I saw after that is somebody pulled up the picture of her with Griff and Lexus King now, Brian Pillman Jr. and Brian Pillman Jr., Nether Company, and Julia Hart, House of Black, Dominant Women, TBS Champion, Griff Garrison, nothing by his name. Not making fun of him, but it's true. She has been the most successful member of that group.
Yeah.
And that's because they saw something in her to cultivate and put her with the right groups, put her with the Brody King and a Malachi Black, which sounds like an odd pairing, but these are two knowledgeable veterans in the business that can help get her and communicate with her. This is how you tell a story. This is how you craft something in the ring to what your skill set is. And now whenever they move on and they retire, hopefully they become agents backstage and just say, okay, of the women's division, not the men's.
Soon.
I don't want that anytime soon, but not of the men's division, but of the women's division. Do what Fit Finlay did for the WWE women to get them back to get them to be competitive in the ring.
Yeah. That's a great point. I didn't even think of that when Tommy and Brody hanging up and saying, hey, peace out.
Yeah, put them with that because listen, Tommy has a lot of experience with Zelina because they're married and they're like, okay, he teaches her how to wrestle, he teaches her how to do different things, da-da-da-da-da. It's a pretty easy transition now. They've formed Julia into a well-rounded athlete. That's how you get your women's division going.
How much, not that I know you probably don't know this, but how much longer does Zelina have on her contract?
I don't know, but she just doesn't get anything. Like, she doesn't.
She had the Puerto Rico match, and that was the last time. Yeah, we see her in a ring every once in a while, but she never gets flowers.
And that's it. The Puerto Rico match was just because it was her home country.
Right. And
they threw her the bone on that one. I really wish she would walk away. Jump. Go to AEW. They'll at least put her in the ring and let her wrestle. She doesn't have to do much, but she can just wrestle and be a part of the women's division there.
Yeah. We get the world's biggest announcement that we knew verbatim.
Already.
Everybody knew.
It's Ospreay. He's all elite.
And we're not saying it like, well, it's Ospreay, because it was just, we knew. Everybody knew. Were you worried that we were going to see Ronda pop up? Because she was
on ROH.
Yeah. But there's no contract. It was a handshake deal.
It was a handshake deal because I think it was, okay, we're going to do this indie show with Billy Starks and Athena. You guys just come to ROH and do a pop up.
The
Same match. Same match, just do it on TV.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was going to be Ronda. I knew it wasn't going to be Ronda. There's just no way there. Because to me, Ronda's probably got a Hall of Fame deal probably on the table next year for her. And so they can just kind of shut that door and kind of close it off. Now, if there's a deal after that, I wouldn't be surprised if he makes the deal. A special attraction type thing.
You need to bring back Paige Van Zandt then.
Well, maybe he's like, well, that failed, so why don't I bring back somebody with wrestling experience at that point?
I got 5 fucking pages of notes on this next match.
My list
and I don't know why.
Goddamn long.
I don't know why. I was just typing it, so I don't know if it's coherent. So I'll have to. We get to the Texas Death Match. Swerve and Hangman. Swerve's in first, doing his dance. Hangman right off the bat jumps him. Buckshot in seconds. I'm like, no. I thought, no. Don't do us this way.
I thought that too, and it looked like lethal. Like it looked like
he's had in a while.
Wow, yeah. Probably since before he won the world title. That was probably his best buckshot. But then
then let's just go. The tape, the fucking staples.
Oh,
I got a staple in my finger in 4th grade in art class, and I still feel the pain.
I know. And then he's just stapling. These children's drawing, painting to Swerve's face. Cheek.
I understand, your pecs and your arms and your legs, you got that fatty component in there, you got muscle in there that it probably doesn't hurt somebody like them.
Yeah, that much. But
your cheeks got nothing.
There's no muscle in your cheek. It's skin layer, boom. I can move. Twice, yeah.
The first one didn't hold.
Yeah, so he did it again on the second one. Then he gets he's cut open, and then he just decides, I'm a fucking vampire. Let me drink this man's blood. And I was like, this is not happening. This is not
I winced
happening.
A little bit.
I did too. I'm like, no. And apparently that was going to be a common theme throughout this match was no. He's drinking the blood. The most hilarious, I saw a lot of X's threads I saw, but somebody posted a picture of Hangman reading to children. He goes, you wouldn't believe this man drank somebody's blood on a pay-per-view match.
The ex-teacher.
Yeah, the ex-teacher drinking blood.
We'll get more into it, but I have to get this thought out. This was Spectacle of the Year. Probably still will be. But something brought it down a little bit for me.
Oh. Something brought it down for me, too, but...
We didn't need the run-in.
No, we did not need Brian Cage at all.
That kind of... Listen, I'll ruin my crushy right now. This is Spectacle of the Year. This isn't a match.
This is Spectacle, yeah.
Yeah, this is Spectacle of the Year for me. Could be in Match of the Year if we're going to loop everything together.
If Brian Cage didn't come out.
That
was the most unnecessary part of this whole entire match.
I didn't care about Nana grabbing him, pulling him out and everything. That's a manager's duty. That's a LA's duty. That's an asshole's duty.
And Nana's been attacked by Page. Nana has been involved in this whole thing since the beginning. That made sense. Brian Cage coming out? No.
And I understand it's no DQ. Like, if Page had friends, they could have came out and helped too. But listen, who was the good person, who was the bad person in this match? I understand it was Swerve as the heel. Yes, we understand it because he just broke into the house. But 75% of that place was rooting for Swerve. Agreed.
I think also if your rivalry gets to a Texas death match, there is no line. There is nobody that's heel that's good guy. It is straight up you're there to brutalize the other person. So it doesn't fucking matter who you were when you walked into that thing because you're walking out a totally different motherfucker when the thing's over with.
I also didn't like the cinder block. Twice.
I think it only needed once in the end once.
Yep.
Because I think
the one where they did suplex or something when it didn't break or do whatever it was supposed to do, and no, it's a prop. Shit happens. I'm not throwing it on the bus. Things happen. Cool. Take that one out. That cinder block should have never been seen until he just got hung. Smash him over the head with it at the end to solidify that this motherfucker is dead.
Yep. It was a great callback because I thought originally he was going to swerve stomp it into him like he did with Keith Lee, which, okay, that made sense. But then the DVD happened, and I was like, that's not – I didn't like that. But then when he smashed it over his head, okay, yes, that was perfect use of the cinder block in that scenario. Again, we're talking like we've been in one of these before. We know what we're doing.
Yeah,
but,
not at all, but
yeah.
From start to finish, this was the lariat with the barbed wire on was crazy. And then, and I know Swerve didn't kind of like mean it, but, and I think it was Swerve.
Yeah.
When they were on the top rope and it tossed up.
He hit him with the.
Kind of got half of his face. I'm like, dude, do not do the move.
Do not pull it back.
Yeah, because it was going to rip his face. He was going to be like, what is it, Two-Faced on Batman or whatever?
Yeah.
I'm like, you were going to rip his fucking face off, and then clearly both of them caught it real quick, and this insignificant if you missed it, but major if you didn't miss it. They just shifted it down real quick.
But I think that impromptu became one of the defining moments of the match because it looked, even before he caught it, it still grabbed him some, so you could get it. It was a great visual seeing that pull on his face like that, even if unintentional. It defined the match. That's how brutal the match was. That even that chair shot seemed insignificant to the rest of what was happening during that whole thing. Even down to Excalibur catching staple guns that get flown out of the ring. But I gotta take it back to that spot before it though. When Swerve was the man. I love Swerve, and I was pushing his world title a few months ago in that. Swerve became the man that the crowd is now behind when he was sitting there with the staple gun just shooting himself in the chest and smiling while he did it. Because now he is past the point of pain and he's running on pure adrenaline. So whatever happens after that point is fucking Joker-esque, if you will.
Swerve needs, listen, if we would skip over Joe, Wardlow, Adam Cole, anybody else you want to name right now and instantly put it on Swerve,
100%.
I think there's way too much on Swerve right now that you don't want to lose it. What's he going to do Wednesday? What can he do Wednesday to keep this going? He's got to kill a kid. And I don't mean that, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
he's got to be the most hated fucking person in AEW right now.
And the most loved.
Yeah,
he's not hated. He's loved. He's not hated, but he's loved. But he's got to play it.
He's got to be that.
Here's the deal, though. He's not going for the world title, I don't think, because they're going to put him against one of the more loved guys of the AEW community. This is all about him and OC now, from my estimation. Like, even though Swerve is at the main event level, and you could probably put OC sniffing around that level with the win over Mox, now you have two big-name guys that had something earlier this year, and now they're going to circle back with one more sadistic, one now that's found the dirty side of his game and is willing to steep down to some level. This is setting up a perfect melting pot to take it to World's End if both aren't in the Continental title tournament. That's coming.
I can't imagine Orange is with the title.
Well, I don't know.
The first 4-person champion ever. Not ever, but.
But to that point, the Continental title is basically the international title, but it's just a different name and it's got 3 promotions linked to it. So why not just use one title and save yourself money?
Not that we're saying Orange is winning.
not that we're saying that either, but
they could
whoever wins it, they could put it
exactly,
and whoever wins it, it's the Eddie Kingston rule. His title's on the line throughout the tournament. They join the belts together at the end, whoever's left. But I don't know. But Swerve, man, he's on a rise, and he's got the only way to get him hated again is to take out Orange. You would literally have to destroy Orange on Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Because who's TNT champion? Christian.
Yeah.
That's not
happening.
That's not happening. He's got way too much on his fires.
Yep.
So and I'm all right with that. And again, not that I don't like Orange, but Swerve needs rewarded after. And listen, we're giving Hangman his props too, because without Hangman, Swerve can't do what he did.
Right.
Because this was just crazy ass shit. The meme of him drinking is going to be, it's already better than Shayna Baszler biting Becky
Lynch. Yeah. So to me, Hangman has become the man that makes people.
Yep.
He made Swerve. This has become Hangman's place, and I'm all for it. And he's still young enough; he can make another run at the world title and be fine with it. But he has done leaps and bounds for AEW in this past year, and let alone the past 4 months with Swerve.
I will say what Mox did after that first scrum.
Yep.
I think Hangman's taken over that role.
I think so too. I think Mox carried the company through the first half of the year, and then when they met at Revolution, Hangman really got made by Mox, and then Hangman just took it after that and has run with it since.
Yeah. If you have not seen the pay-per-view, this match itself is worth it. This is by far, to me, probably the roughest, graphicest, graphicest isn't a real word, but the lewdest, whatever, Texas Death match I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Ever.
This is the one match that I'm going to remember and probably watch it again and again for storytelling, not because I'm a sick fuck, but it's just because of the storytelling. It's the same reason I go back to watch Triple H and Cactus Jack from the Rumble. It got brutal at parts. It wasn't anything close to this, obviously, and it was tamed down by WWE standards, but it told a phenomenal story leading into it and during it that it keeps it in your mind. And this Swerve and Hangman one, it told a phenomenal story into it, and during the entire match, it showed basically Swerve becoming the Phoenix and just kind of growing and spreading his wings and becoming a man and a main event player in this. This was a beautiful story to transform him into the next level.
So let me stir the pot. They're not bringing this back at World's End.
They can't go.
They can't.
Because where do you go from here?
Right. We thought maybe it was going to be a Texas Death match. You're going to get maybe a rope, maybe a this, maybe a that, and there's going to be blood.
Mm-hmm.
We never thought. The ending was, this is over. Maybe down the line, when one of them have a championship again, you can rekindle this as, I have to fight back. Remember a couple years ago, you beat my ass. Well, I never got my comeuppance. Maybe you can get a one-off or something like that here or there. This death, the breaking it. Listen, it's not Paige's house anymore. Swerve is moving in, taking his wife and his kid. That's his house.
Yep. The only thing I can think of is if they're going to push this to 3 months, is they have to go exploding barbed wire death match. And even then, well, it went so well the first time. Why would you know what I mean? Why would you revisit that? I think you leave it at this. This is the perfect end to it.
Hangman can take him. I want him not to be on TV for a couple weeks.
Yeah. Oh, agreed. Let either of them just out 3 weeks. Let them just take the holidays off, recuperate, maybe taped promo here and there, but just let them be.
Yeah. We get to one of the matches that we were separated on, the Golden Jets against the Bucks. I went Jets. Jenksy went Bucks. when that title shot was on the line, I knew these two were going to get a title shot against who. Are they going to win the titles? I don't think they're going to win the titles.
Right.
I think there's a callback to this again because there needs to be separation. I think you're right. That separation is going to come when Omega is let down by Jericho or whatever. But I'm really on the Bucks again. This really got me over on the Bucks again because they're fuckheads.
Well, now you're not going to see them for a while. They're taking a step back. Did you see that from Cutler? Matt and Nick's team is taking a step back from wrestling, and then there's no more being the elite in that. So now the temper tantrum that we threw after the match, you're right. The Bucks are huge dicks again, and that's where they live, and that's where they breathe, and that's where their character succeeds. They don't succeed as the happy-go-lucky, oh, we're faces, here we are, da-da-da-da-da. They have to be major dickheads to get over. And how long does this last? I think they show up whenever Jericho and Omega cash in the title shot, and they cost them the titles.
Yep. At World's End.
At World's End. I'm actually hoping it's before that. Not because I want the Bucks back so bad, but because I don't want to.
Jericho and Kenny badmouthing Big Bill and Starks for a month and a half.
I don't either. I just don't want this to be a thing. It needs to be, let's bring it to a head. Let's bring it to a head in Erie.
Let's do this in Erie.
Listen, Erie.
We already have, Tony, by the way, we know you listen. We have the card already booked for you. You can take off in Erie if you want to.
Yeah,
we got this.
We will produce the show for you.
Yeah.
We just need a steel cage.
Go enjoy some Ritas.
Yeah. Enjoy. Go to Plymouth.
Go to Mr. Sub. Mr. Sub's not there anymore, is it?
No, it's Stevo's. Go to Stevo's. Pick up a buffalo steak sub. Get the peppers and onions on it. Splurge on yourself a little bit. You'll enjoy it. You'll love it. And you'll be fine.
And get that beer that we're going to have. And then head to Rita's. And then
there's a Rita's downtown now, so you can go down there and enjoy. There's a rock climbing place. Go climb a rock wall.
Yeah.
We have those downtown too, so just enjoy it.
Sorry there's no sporting event going on. You're the only sporting event that night. The Seawolves will still be partying from their Eastern League win. You've taken the basketball and hockey court over, essentially.
Yeah, so there's nothing else going on in here. So make it happen, Captain.
Go to Gannon basketball.
They might have a game. They might. Oh, yeah, they should have a game by that point, right? I would assume. Yeah, there you go.
Go to that. Did you like this match in general, though, between the Golden Knights and the Bucks?
No. Here's the problem. It was the death match because you're just after the fucking Texas death match and you're before the main event.
Right.
So it's literally, it has to be the bathroom break, but everybody's coming down off that high from that last match. There's no way it was going to be in this to win it. Yeah.
This match couldn't have started the pay-per-view.
No, it couldn't have. Honestly, this is the only place this match would have worked.
It really is. I think the lineup was perfect. As much as we said an hour ago when we were talking about, Wyatt Copeland and Christian leading it off, because it needed to be. This was the perfect lineup. Like, Tony, if you put this right after the Christian Copeland match, 6-man, I understand. That's back-to-back 2 rough matches. And then you're slotted the rest of the show then that you're like, oh, piss. Something's good is going to lose the fans.
Yeah.
I think it would have been, and that's sad to say, probably the TBS match. They would have been like, I'll go now. And they would have missed a barn burner.
Yep. And to that point, with the TBS match, they placed it perfectly between the ladder match, which wasn't too heavy on spots, told a story, did what it needed to do, got him to the next point. We enjoyed it. The TBS women's match outshined what that match was, took it to the next level, and people were like, oh my God, this is great. But it wasn't, this big shadow was cast over it by the death match. And then when the death match came right after it, you could only go to that upper echelon of excitement. And that was your climax, lack of better terms. And then you come right back down. This match had to bring people down so that they could rebound for the main event. Because to your point, you were making that comment about a good match being sacrificed. This match isn't here. The main event would have suffered.
Yep. Agreed. This was, let's see what we can do.
Yep. Let's make it something to happen.
Even in the slotting and everything, I was like, I didn't care.
Well, yeah, I didn't care about this match to begin with. Let alone, okay, well, now it's in a spot where it's not going to succeed whatsoever. So we're just watching this to see what happens at this point.
Yeah, I believe I made a grilled cheese during this match or something. 11:30 at night, I'm eating a grilled cheese. Yeah, I ate more cheese. We get to the main event, and it's Jay White against Adam Cole. But before bell rings or anything, the ambulance comes, and I'm like, here it comes.
At least
stop him. Yeah.
At least they kept making the comment that he committed a felony to get back to the arena. Usually WWE plays it off, but no, we brought in reality here, which I love. I appreciate it with that.
Storyline of this, I liked it. I liked how Max had to grit through. Adam was pseudo involved, not really involved. Guns got tossed out quick. I'm happy about that because it wasn't their place. Yeah, it would have been repetitive. Overall, though, this wasn't super terrific.
No, because
again, I'll say it was spoiled on 0 Hour.
It was spoiled on 0 Hour, but to me, they killed it with the injury angle. I thought it was over storybooked for this. Because this needed to just be MJF versus Jay White, that's it, one-on-one, right? And then they book, oh no, MJF has got to be broken down. He's gone, it's over. He has a knee injury. My God in heaven, Adam Cole's now going to defend this. So now you're sitting there like, oh my God, it's Adam Cole. So now is it, we're having thoughts of this the whole night. Thank God for the stretch of 4 matches up to the Bucks and that, where we could forget about it. But we had a stretch of the night where it was like, oh my God, now how the fuck are they going to do that? Why is Adam Cole fighting? Is this going to be a turn? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then MJF comes back. Now you're sitting there like, oh my God, now we have to watch him do this. The injury plagued the match. And I think it hurt the match too much because I get what they were trying to do, but at the end of the day, he's already fighting in one match at the beginning of the show. Just let him get to the main event. Or let the knee injury get progressively, or the ankle injury get progressively worse during the main event and tell the story that way. Instead of it being, I need to fight you one-legged throughout the entire fucking thing.
I would have liked it better if Adam Cole had to, listen, it's Adam Cole. Even though he looks older than me now, by the way, selling the whole injury, sickness,
the bushy the bushy. He looked like a bushy man there.
Why not let him fight for 5 minutes? Limp around to get away from Jay for a little bit. Sell that a little bit more, not instantly.
Yeah.
I understand real injury, real surgery, whatever. You don't want to do anything, and I'm putting air quotes definitely around real because we still don't know. Why not? Why not just, Jay's going to protect him. They're buddies. He's not going to do anything stupid if it's real. And then MJF drives it back and says, because he fucked. He said fuck more in this match than he's ever in his life. I signed the contract. It's my match. I don't give a shit with Tony Khan. Play this up into the 2024 thing where his contract's out. By the way, WWE already believes he resigned too, along with us.
They have
They don't care. They know.
They were like, it's quiet. He quietly re-signed.
Yeah. Why not let Cole have to limp around for a little bit to sell more of it that I would have been more invested. But before they say Adam Cole's name, here comes the ambulance. I'm like, oh. I was almost like, I'll catch the highlights of this and go to bed before 12 o'clock. But no, Mark watches wrestling until 12 o'clock.
Yeah. Did you see your girl tweeting during all of this?
Yeah.
Britt's just going off the wall. My favorite one, why is 20 Bodies trying to stop Max from getting to the ring, but the dude with 2 crutches with 2 ankle surgeries, whole ass unbothered entrance.
Why no Devil at all?
Because I think they did too much already.
They did.
They did way too much already, so why bring the Devil involved in this thing? Because we've already got 25 other things happening in this match. It's too convoluted.
They overbooked this.
Yeah, they overbooked this and overtold what story needed to happen here. It should have just been a revenge match. It shouldn't have been Jay White. And they've done more hurt to Jay White. If Jay White went out there with MJF and just had a straight up, okay, MJF fought earlier in the night, now he's back. They had a straight up one-on-one match. Done. Even if the Guns hung around for half a match, it was fine. It would have been fine. Jay White could have stood on his own 2 feet and looked like the star that he was. This whole thing just made it look like he was nothing. Yeah. And they just overbooked the shit out of it. Also, I got to step away. Because I need to...
Not from podcasts.
Not from podcasts, but I got to ask you a question. In your mind, when does the line... Because we talk about this with Darby a lot. When's the line that you think wrestlers should be having here? I'm trying to think of the best way to form this. Where you think it's the risk is worthwhile for the reward. Because when the table breaks when you barely touch it, you decide to jump off the top rope to hit an elbow on it, with reports later coming out that he did pop his hip out and he had to get it put back in. Is that heat of the moment?
You don't need that spot. That's why you'll never remember that spot.
No.
After you listen to this podcast.
Never. Absolutely not. Nobody remembered it until that point. Like, I'm thinking about it now because I'm like, this is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen. Yeah. It's the stupidest fucking thing in the world. Why take that risk?
Pick up the stairs and throw them on him then. It's insignificant what happens to him.
Exactly. The
announcers did try to sell it though. I do like that going to our table's been shit on all night. It broke already. I get it, but at the same time, too soon.
Yeah, this motherfucker is supposedly injured his knee, leg, and he's jumping off the fucking thing.
Yeah, the only thing that took the beating was the inch mat.
Yeah, nothing else, and his hip popped out.
Stupid. Stupid. So just to let you know, we essentially tied. Because we both picked different teams in the tag team. I had the Jets, he had the Bucks, so I was up 1. He had I had Mox, he had OC. We were tied with 1 loss apiece, and we both had Hangman. So still your reigning, defending, 6-pack champion, Sir Michael Jenks.
Woo!
I really thought I was going to get it back here. I really did. But the one that told me I wasn't winning is when OC won. And I know that was early. I'm like, that's it. Anything, I'm done. I knew I was done. Should have went with OC, but
I forgot who you picked until I came back and looked at my notes today before the thing. I thought you had somehow won because I knew I picked the Bucks and I knew they lost. I totally forgot you picked Mox off the top of my head. So I was sitting here thinking, well, the 6-pack's over with. I'm going to have to re-earn the title shot. And now I'm like, I'm breathing sighs of relief here.
Listen, I don't know. I'm going to really have to build myself up again. Like, this is like, I have to earn two to get a title shot again, essentially. I don't know. It's going to be rough.
It can start this weekend.
It could. We're going to have predictions here real quick. before we get to that, overall, what are you ranking this fucking Full Gear?
If I put it on the beer scale, the matches from the ladder match until the Bucks versus Jets, that gave it about 5 beers for me, I think. Put it at 5 beers. OC and Mox is pretty good. There are things that were low points on this, but I gotta go 5. I'm thinking right around 5 beers.
I'm the mark. I was going 5.5.
Okay.
I was hovering between 5.25 to 5.5, but I think that death match and the TBS women's match was just like 2 matches I would have been sufficed with MJF's shenanigans before and after. 2 matches brought it down for me. Team Christian, Team Copeland, nothing.
Yeah.
And then the Bucks against the Jets, nothing. Everything else in between was a 6-pack. Was a fucking 6-pack for sure.
I would have given it a 6-pack, yeah. I will say this. Bucks and Jets, the 6-man, it was what it was.
Right.
That's a traditional trios match. What gets me a 5 is, I think, just the overbooking of the main event. This should have just been Jay White versus MJF, and MJF try to get his thing back. Like, we don't need to push Jay White to be this serious this dastardly of a villain. He just needs to be, I'll hit you coming out of nowhere. It was just very sports entertaining storyline kind of thing. And that's what hurt it for me. Yeah.
So I guess we'll find out there's a lot of questions coming out of this. Really, really. Where's Mox go now? What's up with Hangman? Is he dead? Bigger one, what do you do with Jay White now, which was one of your biggest signings?
Yeah, and with Juice out, It's now Jay White and the Guns. That's kind of like, meh. That type of thing.
One that we said was the gel. They clearly have to have Juice have the surgery and be Dakota Kai.
Yeah, just hang around. Have him in a wheelchair. Just run him around. You got Roddy going around here, which Action Andrade getting Roddy almost permanently in the wheelchair was a little too much on Rampage.
Didn't watch it.
I didn't. I saw the clip of him trying to do the Spanish Fly, and they landed right on Roddy's neck.
Neck strong.
Yeah, neck strong. That's all it is. Neck health is important, guys. Remember that.
Yeah, November's almost over.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back with Survivor Series predictions, not SummerSlam.
What's up, guys? This is Devlin Macabre, and you're listening to Can Crushers. And always remember, guys, violence is the answer.
Gobble, gobble, motherfuckers. Let's do it. It's prediction time here on Can Crushers podcast.
Didn't you have enough turkey on Thursday?
You can never get enough turkey. Like you eating a grilled cheese sandwich at 11:30 after eating 2 blocks of cheese the day before. You just got to celebrate it. Got to enjoy it. Take it all in.
I'm going to get hate. Do you wish the gobbledygooker was at every Survivor Series? Maybe not coming out of the egg. It's
kind of, because it'd be a cool little mascot to have, like an Easter egg type thing. Just come and hang around backstage or just pop up somewhere randomly.
When was Do Not Search This up? This is a fan's thing to do for next week. When was the last time we've seen the gobbledygooker? It's been a minute.
Wasn't it? It has been, but it was at Survivor Series. It might have been the Undertaker's 25th Survivor Series, or it was like Survivor Series 30 or something like that. It was like a milestone one, I think.
Okay. But it's been a while.
It has been a while. He did win the 24/7 title too, didn't he?
He did. He did.
So maybe it was after one of those, because
it had to have been after that.
Yeah.
Well, he needs to show up. I don't know where the hell it's even at, but
it's in Chicago, baby. Oh, we know who's under the mask of the gobbledygooker if he shows up in Chicago.
Oh, fuck, I forgot. Yeah, Loomis, right?
Yeah, Dexter Loomis. He hasn't been around in a while. All right, prediction time. You ready for this?
Yeah.
I feel like we know the order of the War Games matches. I think it's the women's, then the men's is the main event. So they're going to bookend the show.
I would have to imagine. Listen,
Yeah.
you have millions, literally millions of dollars booked into the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
That's got to be your main event.
That's got to be the main event.
It's been 6 fucking months.
Yep.
End it.
Agreed. Hopefully. For the love of God. So.
Start with the women.
Let's start with the women. We'll bookend this. The predictions. We'll start with the women's match, and then we'll get to where we need to go. So, Mark, the women, what you got?
As much as I want Damage Control to win, something needs to happen. Because you got Becky fucking Lynch on the other team now, which apparently Becky and Charlotte are actually friends again. Like in real life.
I saw that. And
they're buddies.
So that makes me think that there's other things occurring to push this relationship a riff at that juncture.
Right. But I also think there ends up being a feud out of this after somebody is decimated and left sulking, and then we get the rekindling of 3 of the 4 originals.
Yeah.
To take on Damage Control whenever.
Yeah.
But Becky's on Raw, and all of a sudden she's now in a SmackDown World Series match. Survivor Series match.
Take me out to the ball. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I'm on the same boat with you. Bayley's taking the loss, and then Bayley's getting her ass kicked. We even saw it on Friday during that promo with Damage Control.
I did go back and watch it. We didn't make reference to everything because we're doing a quicker show, which isn't quick whatsoever. But yeah. Let's play reference that a little bit. That was Dakota running Damage Control. You were so right.
Yep. Dakota's running Damage Control. Anytime Bayley made comments or anything like that, she was looked at kind of like, what's Snidely. Yep. This is you're not part of this. Dakota's on track here. Dakota's running this group 100%. And I think it comes to a head at Survivor Series.
And I think Dakota's the first one that makes the move. As we don't know this, but maybe the announcers will play it up that she's been cleared, or, oh my God, she's not cleared. Dakota's the one taking Bayley out after this.
Yep.
Because it fits the whole Tegan Nox thing that we talked about last week.
It's the first shot. She will have the first shot on her. Let's say Bayley's in the first ring. The other 3 are in the separate ring. Dakota takes a shot, then everybody pounces on her, which I think then plays into your 3 of the 4, because I think Becky and Charlotte come back to kind of scare off or push off the other ones.
And the 3 of the 4 horsewomen.
Horsewomen are back together at that point.
So I'm going to call it Team Becky, since she's the special person that they called in. And I don't mean it that way whatsoever, you assholes. Get your mind out of the gutter. It's got to be Becky's team, right? She's the hitman of this. It's definitely not Bianca's.
Yeah, the only other person...
She needed saved by Flair.
Yeah, so the only person it could be named after is Charlotte. Because it's not Shotzi's.
No. We're going Team Becky.
Yep, we're on Team Becky.
Okay.
I had to rethink that for some godly second, but okay. Anyways, Carlito and Santos, we said this was going to blow up at some point. This is not Carlitos to win. This has got to be Santos. We're putting over Santos.
Oh, yeah. This is match right after the women.
Yep.
And this is going to be, this will probably be 10, 15-minute match, but you're going to see Santos being dastardly.
Yep. And he's going to be
Carlito.
Full display here, so both on Santos. I think they'll break it up and go, I think they're going to go IC title next. So Gunther versus Miz. Who got?
My heart wants to say Miz. I really want this to be the Miz. Listen, I'm going to go Miz. just because I think it's time. It gives Gunther that break before we get to Rumble, and he gets back into the big. He is the fucking big picture, but just to get, we kind of forgot that he was IC title. You're not going to ever forget that he was IC champ.
No.
But you have that pause in between him moving on to WrestleMania season and running with it. So I think this is a good time for the Miz to take it. I think there's a lot of help.
Yeah.
I'll just say I think Bronson's lingering.
That's fair.
I think maybe by the time we record again, Miz may not be champion. But
you never know. I'll go Gunther to separate us, but I will say this. If you didn't take The Miz, I was going to take The Miz. And here's why. I was 50-50 on this match, but I do think that the Intercontinental title actually being defended at a pay-per-view is a turning point for some reason. Honestly, they needed match. They needed filler. But to me, that's like, now we're at the big stage. Now we're putting the big boy pants on. Miz is after it. This could happen here. I could justify it. I'll say Gunther just to see if they extend this on a little further. But to your point, he's got to lose it in the next month or so if they're pushing him to be that guy, to be the next world champion.
Right.
So when does it happen? I don't know, because I don't think they're going to pull an Ultimate Warrior Hulk Hogan thing where it's title versus title, Intercontinental and World.
I hope not, because I hate WWE's tournaments.
Oh, I do too.
When they do tournaments,
They're trash. They haven't had a good tournament since King of the Ring.
Yeah.
And that was probably 98, 97, somewhere in there. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Digress. All right. Women's world title, Rhea Ripley, Zoe Starks. This is Rhea. There's no way Zoe's taking the title off of Rhea.
Listen, we both want it to be Zoe. At least I want it to be Zoe. She was built up a little bit. I can't pull the trigger on this. She's the last, and I'm not even saying they're losing him anytime soon, but she's going to be the last person of the Judgment Day to lose a title.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. So.
Yeah.
All right.
And we're a ways away.
We are a ways away. All right. It's time. Men's War Game match. We know it's Team Rhodes, Team Cody, Seth, Jay, Sammy, Cody Rhodes versus Team Judgment Day with JD. Let me ask you this. Go ahead, make your prediction and all that.
It's Judgment Day.
It is. I have a thought process going on over here that Damian goes into business for himself in the match, like mid-match. Seth's injured. Damian's realizing, Seth's injured. I could cash in on him right now, win the title, and maybe then win the War Games match as well, or something along those lines.
That would be fucking awesome, actually.
Right? But then somehow, some way, he goes to cash in, and then somehow he loses it. I don't know if he loses the title or if he gets the cash in, but they lose the match somehow. But I think this could be the catalyst to destroy Judgment Day if Damian goes into business for himself and then somehow he loses the War Games match, but maybe he wins the title or something like that. I don't know. But in my mind, I've been trying to figure this out. I think Damian could easily go into business for himself as Seth's injured for the back injury.
You might have just spun me. You might have just spun me. Nothing's on paper yet for either one of us, so which is still a clear shot. You might have spun me. He gets the title off of Seth. But wait, if he makes the... Let me say this.
Yeah.
If he makes the pin during War Games on Seth, wouldn't he win both?
Not if everybody's not in the ring yet.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying when the match beyond starts.
Well, that's a good point. But when he cashes in, is that solely a world title match? So it becomes a match within a match. And even though in his mind, he may be thinking, I'm going to win both. He wins the world title. But that doesn't win War Games. They lose War Games because that didn't win War Games.
Because who's the last person? Cody clärly last one in. I don't know who the advantage. That's happening. As
we record. Yeah. So Cody has to be last one from his team in, and then maybe
JD.
Could be JD. Could be Finn. Could be Damian. What if it's Seth and Damian outside, and Damian somehow attacks Seth? Or I don't know. But
9 out of 10 War Games matches, by the way, heels have the advantage. I think there's been 1 or 2, maybe down like NXT, that the good guys have had the advantage.
Yeah.
So that would mean I like where you're going. I'm going to stick and say I'm definitely going to – mine's going Judgment Day. Because I think he picks up both. And you know how they all bring in a fucking weapon?
Yep.
Seth starts for Team Rhodes. He's decimated the whole match. His back to the Priest brings in his briefcase.
Yeah.
Wall up Seth. Seth out. He helps take care of some of the other people because they have that little bit of a run. Does a couple more moves. Picks up the briefcase, hands it to the official, cashes in, and he wins both by pinning Seth. Never done before. Big spectacle. Yeah. I love it. I love it, Jenks. I really do. I didn't have that happening. That's why they stand tall. Listen, because there's no bloodline at all around here. Yeah. We're waiting to see when's Randy pop up in this, right?
Well, and that's the flip side. Are they adding a fifth man with Drew? And then that would create the fifth man for Team Rhodes, who would suspect be Randy Orton.
Right.
And if we go down that logic, and honestly what I was thinking of, I'm going to go Team Rhodes on this. So my logic is...
We could still tie.
We could still tie, but my logic here is, okay, Damian cashes in, wins the world title. He thinks he's going to win both matches, but they tell him that's only for the world title. War Games is still happening. At that point, RKO out of nowhere. Let's say Randy Orton's in the match. Let's say it's 5-on-5. You get an RKO out of nowhere. Damian gets pinned. 1, 2, 3, game over. Match is over. Mommy's pissed off because there's a leadership divide anyways in Judgment Day. We're basically doing the catalyst for the Judgment Day to break apart because Damian won't fall in line. Rhea's trying to lead it herself. And there's so many odds and ends here. I think Damian tries to do the right thing, thinking he can win both. But at the end of the day, he can only win the one. So he's world champion, but he's pissed off the rest of Judgment Day because he sacrificed the good of the group for the good of himself.
World champion and tag team champion.
Yeah, he would be a double champion at that point. Yeah. Yep.
I didn't think of any of those scenarios. I love it.
I thought about it. When did I think? I was listening to you and Donnie talk the week before, and then I'm like, oh shit, he could pull it. He could fucking cash in during War Games and just call it a night. Because this is the first time I think Money in the Bank briefcase holder has been lingered this long and has been involved in the War Games match itself. So there's an opportunity here.
There is. I love it.
Yep. So outside of that, let me ask you this. Does Randy show up? I think it depends on if we add Drew to the match. They have to add one more. And Cody says, I'm making a call. And this throws Randy
early in the night. Yeah.
Yep.
Can you get here in time?
St.
Louis to Chicago is,
2 hours.
If he calls during the Team Becky, the women's match.
War Games.
Yeah.
Could happen.
Maybe he could make it.
Yeah. Why not?
He's there already. We understand that. But
they could play it up as like, oh, he took a red eye or some fast ass shit or took a private jet, and he makes it.
Yeah, because he doesn't have to show up until the last 30 seconds of War Games.
Well, yeah, it's like the Kevin Owens, the Kevin Owens one when he showed up for the War Games match against Undisputed Era when he showed up for Team Ciampa. He wasn't out there with the team. They rang the buzzer. Nothing happened, and then his music hit. So it could happen.
Could. Where's Punk show up?
That was my thing. Is there a cult of personality at the end of it where he shows up basically? What is that doing? Oh, I got Siri to go off on my phone and try to record me. Does Punk
I'm recording this week. It's
Yeah,
that
right.
good.
Yeah, it's so good. Got to listen to it twice. Does he show up at the end? Kind of like what Bray did, but this time he's making a statement to everybody in the ring.
Depending on who's left in the ring.
Well, that's it. Is Judgment Day arguing, or is it maybe it's Cody and maybe it's just the faces are standing tall? Because why come out for Judgment Day? But if it's Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Jay, and Sammy,
Punk's coming back as a heel? Is that what you're telling me?
I think so.
I do too.
Because there's no other role for him. There's nothing outside of heel.
So do we get Cody Punk
I don't know.
at Rumble?
Excuse me. Maybe we get it at Rumble with Punk enters the Rumble at that. I don't know. Here's my thing though. What a WrestleMania match they set up if they bring Randy out. It's first night back in over a year, and then Punk overshadows him 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
You've set up your WrestleMania match.
With no title involved.
No title involved.
On paper, it'll steal the show.
On paper, it steals the show. It's happened before. Punk's still looking for his revenge on Randy. It writes itself.
Yeah.
And then they cross paths in the Rumble. Punk eliminates Randy or something like that, and we're on the fast track.
Giddy up.
Giddy up, motherfuckers. It's road to WrestleMania.
There you go, Paul. We just booked yours, too. Trips.
We got your trips.
You guys can all take weeks off now. We just have everything going for
Enjoy
you.
your families this holiday, guys, and we got this. We've got it booked for you.
Yeah. This is a nice recap. I kind of like just doing a recap in a preview.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'll watch wrestling at some point, but there's no need to squeeze it in now.
Yeah. Now you can relax.
Skim, and I'm like, this is what watching wrestling's like again. Now it's
Get time. Just watch it.
Well, we hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm either getting autographs or cheering on Pitt, who is 6.5-point underdogs to Duke in Durham. Jenks is in between Pittsburgh and Guam. So,
and hanging up some decorations or, sitting on my couch enjoying college football.
jealous about that. These
You're going to be at WrestleCade.
Yeah. Or
what are
Pitt.
you jealous of? Or at the Pitt game. What are you jealous about?
I just want to make you feel loved, too.
I appreciate it, but I think I would love to be down there getting autographs on that right now, but wasn't in the cards.
In due time.
In due time.
I know, I have fruition that I know when you're going to come, so don't worry.
Oh, look at that.
I do.
Nostradamus out here.
Yeah. Next week, folks, remember what we said like a month and a half ago? It's really going to happen. We're going to be recording live together.
COVID be damned.
You fucking get sick.
If you fucking get sick, I'm in the 90-day window still, so I have the antibodies still built up for keeping COVID away.
Why am I going to get sick? Because I'm going to be around 8,000 people?
Yeah.
Or 25,000?
I'm just saying don't get sick in between. Yeah, when you're at WrestleCade, don't get sick down there.
I'm not going to.
All right, good.
I'm going to go.
Just Lysol people in the face. Luke. Get your ass up here so that we can celebrate. We can get ready for Collision.
Bryan Danielson 2023.
The watch of Bryan Danielson 2023. I hope there's a bracket released here in the next 2 days. At least on Dynamite.
Yeah.
We can kind of play that out and see where matches fall.
I don't think they're going to, I don't know. There's big people, I think, yet in this bracket for AEW. I think,
I don't think they're going to leave it too long because you think about it.
It starts.
There's only 4 matches before the second round. So
2 are Wednesday.
2 are Wednesday. 2 are going to be probably on Collision, or 1 on Rampage, 1 on Collision, something like that. So the first round's done. We have to be in second round by next week.
Right.
Danielson Watch 2023 is happening. Yeah.
Cody's going to lose his shit. He gets to buy to the finals. Cody's going to lose.
Subs in Wheeler for himself.
All right, guys. We had a blast doing this. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you get that hint. Happy Thanksgiving. I love you all. Enjoy your families for this weekend to come as well. Hunters, good luck. Don't shoot yourselves or anybody else and all that stuff.
Agreed. Enjoy your time with your family. As long as it's someone you love, enjoy the time with them. And also make sure you tell your loved ones you love them.
We didn't even say remember your trash yet.
I know, but I was trying to tie it in with that.
You never know.
No, because you never know. I was trying to tie it in with that because it was all in there. So now we can say the trash line.
We're doing the trash line.
I threw it out. I know. I screwed up the order, but I was trying to play
I don't remember the trash line now. Remember, just because Jenks is trash doesn't mean you can't do great things.
I'm a garbage can, not a garbage cannot. So make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them.
Because you never know. Fuck me up.